The realest, best podcast in the game.
Yo, I heard this song on the radio called Holy by Justin Bieber and Chance.
You haven't heard Holy?
No, I have not.
You know, what rock do you live under?
A big. Remember, I have headphones for a very long time, and I haven't.
It came out in February, the beginning of it. You had headphones back then.
Did I?
Yes.
I
You've
definitely
not had
did not
headphones
hear
for
that.
since April.
Well, I don't
March,
keep
like
up with
that.
what Justin dropped, so there's that.
Well, that's the problem right there. Have you heard Peaches?
Yeah, I've heard Peaches, but that's because it's on everything. Like
Holy
it's on
came
every.
out eons before Peaches. No, I think Holy's the one that dropped last year.
Holy probably dropped.
And
last
there was
year.
a single between Holy and the album that dropped this year. That was also pretty good. I can't
Yummy?
remember. No, Yummy's the last album. Oh my god.
Hey, isn't Daniel Caesar on Peaches?
Yes, Daniel Caesar. Yes, it's Daniel Caesar, Giveon, and Justin Bieber.
I was like, yo, because I heard somebody was like,
not from the UK.
he's
It's
not.
hard to believe he's he's American.
I know.
But he just looks, and when you hear him singing, it sounds like this dude's from the UK.
I
and he's
swore
not.
he was from the UK.
He's super. I didn't know that him and whatchamacallit were together
Thank
until
you.
recently.
What was he
Whatchamacallit?
doing again?
I think Justine Skye.
That's cute.
She's so
Shout out that black
Yeah,
love.
she's really pretty.
Yeah.
I love
They look really
when
good
two
together.
dark-skinned people get together. It's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's
Love
always
that.
great power melanin pairing.
You know Cole freestyle London?
Yes, I saw a rap page.
He
post that.
freestyled that? Wow.
That's
Talking about he was
Fire.
trying to. He did, sir.
Crazy.
Then
did
again,
not
I
know
feel
that.
like I feel
one of the
like-
comments said, "Tip to rappers, don't put J. Cole on your song because it's not your song anymore."
It's a big fact.
Yeah.
There's
Dang,
three
that's
people.
crazy.
That's so cool.
There's like
Now it makes me
three
want to
people
listen to
that
the
you
verse.
can that
Right?
you can say that about.
All right. Here
Money
we are.
gang.
Yet again.
First and foremost, for
Could you
those
see
of
me
you-
on that camera?
Yeah.
Oh,
First and foremost, for those of you that are consistent watchers and listeners, I'm a wonderful treat because after 2 or 3 episodes in a row, one or the other, Ashton is back after
I'm back.
after
Yes.
work and
Booyaka,
emergencies,
booyaka.
and being in different countries. She's finally
Yeah.
back.
Dang,
in
you
the
haven't
saddle
been
with the
here.
team.
I
Yeah,
have
it's
not
been a
been
little
here.
minute.
I know.
I missed you.
Shit,
Even though I see,
How was
we
your
saw you last
sabbatical?
week.
Not relaxing. Really, honestly, it was
Yeah,
honestly
when we
very
got
stressful.
we went to go drop the SD cards off last week before we left, and when we got there, she was
Literally, I was working my booty off.
them fingers was moving,
Boy, oh my god.
double screened up.
I had to work a 12-hour shift today because
Dang.
yesterday my internet went out while I was working at like 10:30 in the morning and it didn't come back on till like 9. So I missed like 6 hours of work. So I worked for so long today.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
OT though.
No, it's not gonna be OT because
Yeah, she's making up
I'm
hours
making
from
up my hours from yesterday.
Dang.
I can use PTO, but
Just
I don't want to
regular
waste it.
Yeah, I got you.
Good old traditional
yeah.
tea. All right, y'all. I have a problem with the world.
What
Two
is
of
it,
them.
What's
bro?
the problem?
2 of them.
I got mad problems. Bro.
And
Facts.
these have to do with technological advancement, okay?
Okay.
For where we are in this time and era and stage, there's no reason why these 2 things, well, one of these things doesn't exist and the other thing is still a problem.
Okay.
Yesterday, I did laundry, and
I hate doing laundry.
I hate doing laundry, and I'm bad at it, ladies and gentlemen, because when I put things in the wash, when it's done, my brain's like, laundry's done. I forget that, hey, I washed things, I have to now dry things. So I was washing things that like I needed at a certain point, and for hours they were just sitting in the wash done, not drying when they could have been because my brain thought they were done, which made me ask myself, why is there no wash and dry machine?
I think it has to do with the
There's
attachments to the house.
There's nothing that can
Yes.
make, because you can just make 2 different tubes and put them in 2 different spots. And if I can have icy hot, then I should be able to have one machine
am
that
pretty
washes
sure
and dries.
If they could make a washer dryer combo, it would already be done.
Then what? If
I think they can, but it's more about
if somebody can send a
selling
drone
more than
strike
just
from
one.
a phone, then I should be able to wash and dry with the same machine. I put on the wash settings, and only the wash part opens up, and the wash valves flush. Then that gets cleared out. Then the dry valves and vents open, and it dry. Why is that not feasible?
Gotta
I
ask
don't feel like I'm
engineer.
asking for too much. I truly don't.
I don't even know how that would work.
We claim to put people on the moon. That's gotta be harder than putting a washer and dryer in the same machine. There are cars that can parallel
definitely.
park
Did you
themselves.
Google it? Did you see if somebody's work? Somebody might be trying to make it now.
Somebody
You
probably
never
made
know.
it, and then they
Yeah.
got off the
I'm
same
sure
way the dude
there
who
is
made same way the dude who made
That's too much power?
Yes,
The
way too much
Washing
the all-in-one
machine,
wash
dryer,
Bruh, think about it.
combo.
There are like
Wash and dry that's together as one machine, but it's
Yeah,
not
like the
same.
two on
it's
top.
not the same.
No, yeah, I
cylinder.
don't mean the ones that dual. I'm talking one machine, one door.
right.
Put them in, wash them,
Let's
then
see.
dry them.
Is that
Oh
one?
no.
Okay, yeah, okay, so
It's $2,000.
yeah, it's a lot of money, but it says high efficiency smart load front load washer and electric dryer combo with
it's
steam.
one machine.
It's one machine
Oh, so it uses
for
steam.
$2,000.
I think the other ones use electricity.
That's why we ain't got it.
Yeah.
The steam part is what, because the rest, you're right. The rest, regular
rest are
dryers don't
electronic.
use
combo
steam.
with steam
And that's probably
turbo
it. It's
wash.
probably hard to put to make a contraption that works electronically and have water flowing
Yeah.
through it all at the same
because
time.
the water would mess up the drying element.
And
Yeah.
so, but with the steam at work,
Yeah, because then it's just using water.
okay.
That's
okay.
It
crazy
looks
though,
kinda
because
high
steam
tech.
is just
That's
water
cool.
vapor.
Yeah, I was
But-
about to say, wouldn't it still
But
be?
nah,
I don't know.
high temperature steam,
Let's see the review.
because you know you get hit with high pressurized, high temperature steam and melt your face off.
You ever open the
So
dishwasher like while it's in the middle of the cycle? Boy, oh my gosh.
All right, that was my first thing. I'm glad we got to some conclusion. It makes me a little bit cool up off the second one, but not really, because this one is a travesty. Why is it that still in 2021, we in the internet era, technology era, social media era, that when you do a hashtag, special characters end the hashtag?
I didn't
That's
know
stupid.
That is the dumbest
honestly
thing
stupid.
ever. I was just hashtagging something and I wanted to do R&B, and when I spelled it out, it looked like Ran B, and I didn't like that. So I was like, let me do ampersand, and it ended it at hashtag R. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Do RNB.
That's not the solution I want. I want special characters to not end hashtags.
Yeah.
That doesn't even, why? What is the reason?
Even regular characters
know.
like periods and question
What
marks.
was the reason?
Why? Like,
Hashtag don't like 'em.
for,
Yeah, that's a
I don't know.
that's a coding
good
thing.
question.
bro,
Yeah,
I
you
put
gotta.
my face into 2K last year. But you can't let an ampersand or a period be in a hashtag.
They've been doing that for a
that's
while.
coding.
It
That's-
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but that's something that like I guess like software developers would have to figure out because
I feel
don't
like
know.
that's something.
I
that
guess they
could-
only account for letters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure that can be fixed.
I know it can
It's
be
probably-
changed.
it's-
They can
Toy
change
Story
that.
4 had real
Numbers, I
feathers.
use numbers in my hashtag all the time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, numbers are
So
good.
like the regular characters, I
Yeah.
go to say. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe there's like a list that is and isn't, and maybe all the extra characters
But
like
I'm
punctuation.
sure it don't take that much to just add the isn'ts in. Why would they ever isn't?
You're right. I don't know.
Isn't for this
I don't
Why
know.
aren't they
No.
is's?
We did not make Twitter or Instagram.
They probably feel like we
I'm
would.
sure that they can
do
but
too
you
much
know they don't
damage.
want to do anything that we want. They don't give us an edit button on Twitter, so they're not gonna
Now
change
we
the
had
hashtag.
that. Now they got rid. It wasn't a edit button. It was
could edit
it was
the quote
yeah.
tweet.
When you
Yeah.
quoted
Yeah,
tweet,
yeah,
it would
yeah,
just
yeah,
copy
you
and paste the tweet, and you could edit the
Edit
tweets.
tweet, yeah.
And I remember us using it for evil. So I
Yes.
know for a fact they got rid of that for the
Also,
right reason.
That's back when Twitter was just jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
back in
It
20,
was
that was
more than
2011,
jokes.
2012 Twitter. Y'all don't know
I
about
think Jax commented on why there's no edit button, and I think he says that like when things need to like whereas we're thinking like when I have a stupid typo because of
Yeah.
autocorrect, I can edit it. Someone can say something like really messed up and then edit it and be like, it doesn't say that.
that. Right.
True. But you know, people screenshot fast. You
Yeah,
gonna get
they
caught.
do.
Big
You gonna
facts.
get
But
caught.
I think that
But
was
then you
the
could be
whole
like,
ideal
Photoshop.
behind
Yeah.
it, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty. I think we could use an edit button too.
Right.
They took so long to give us group FaceTime that we didn't need it anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
it was way
we needed
too
group
late.
FaceTime in high
Bruh,
school
we
when we
there
had
was
high school.
in high school
House
we had
Party.
the app House Party. I don't know if
Yes.
y'all remember that, but we had
House
House
Party.
Party.
House
and
Party.
that was here and gone in like 2 weeks. Me and my friends did not use that. We used it like 2 nights in a row, and that was the height of our
They should bring
usage.
back all the nostalgic apps like Kick.
To
Yik
be
Yak is
honest,
back.
Kick does not need to be brought back.
Why not?
Kick was only
Kick
for
was dangerous.
Yeah,
Kick was
for-
Snapchat before Snapchat
Yeah.
existed.
Really, it was. We used to do rates on there.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Group little things. It was.
To be honest, is the cringiest thing.
Yik Yak is back.
I missed the app, to be honest. They was wilding on there.
There's an
There's
app.
an
Oh yeah, it was.
Man, I found
Yik Yak
somebody
is
else
back?
Yes.
Yik Yak was terrible.
Yeah, it's
Mad
horrible.
racist.
They had to bring back the
download
cyberbullying.
It was just getdestroyed.com. It was like Xbox live chats and Yik Yak. Were the
We
two
had to
best
write-
places.
Ever.
My freshman year at MTSU, I had a writing class, and we had to write about a topic that was like in Yik Yak. And I don't remember exactly what the topic was, but I just remember the fact that Yik Yak was on the screen, and I was just like, "What is Yik Yak?" And then like somebody explained to me, it's like one of those apps where you can like it's specifically for, I think it was like for school and stuff like that.
Anonymous
Like
Twitter.
it's
Yes.
like the whole point of it was to be like, it had some academic ties to it,
Yeah,
but
it
like
probably did.
it became a monster that was not
supposed to
supposed to
It
be
was supposed to be Kahoot.
low key
Kahoot.
without
no. Kahoot is fun.
Kahoot helped me drop a class one time. I was in a U.S. history,
I believe that.
and it was a 6 p.m. U.S. history class. I was only taking
Ew.
it as a general.
Those
I
late
hated
night
being in
classes
it.
suck.
And
Oh
so
my God.
sometimes
I
I
was out
came,
by
but
four.
I really stopped going
two
for one main reason.
think
It was
about it.
because
until I got to Georgia.
I had to interact with just too much subtle racism. Like, just too much. Like, with the topic, because it was world history, but it was like ancient world history. So we're learning about like ancient African civilizations and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, okay, get into groups and talk about the reading. I'm the only black person in the group. Everybody's like, do you have any thoughts? What would you like to say? Do you have any insider information?
And he
no,
went-
ho,
and
I
he-
wasn't there.
Insider
And he went to
information.
Kennesaw, ladies and gentlemen.
And then that was just like the minimal, like the side comments that would come from, you know, the Republican Rose and the Kyle Rogers and
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, I hated being in that class, so I
dead.
would barely go, which led to day before our first exam. I pull up, we're cahooting for the study guy or whatever, and the person with the top Kahoot, like out of score out of everybody, they either didn't have to take the test or like it was either they didn't have to take a test or they like got 10 bonus points, something like that.
Oh wow.
I never in all my life have done so terribly at a Kahoot. I didn't know a thing. I was like, well, here we are. I think it wasn't for the first. I think it was for midterm because I think it was one of those classes where he just was like, you have midterms, finals, and a final paper. And I just was like, the next day that we had the class, I went in, I took the midterm. I left the midterm. Mind you, this is a 6 o'clock class. I left the midterm. The midterm is on the final day for drop ad without penalty. It ended at 9. I get out of the test at like 7 something. It didn't take me long. I didn't know anything. So I just flew through making things up. I literally walked out of the building before even getting to another building. Laptop out of backpack, in portal,
Yeah.
dropped the class.
Yep.
So,
In mid stride,
I was like,
using the campus
right.
Wi-Fi.
I used my withdrawals in school, boy.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I had about
I only
5.
withdrew from one class.
I would do 2.
One class.
I think
Nah,
I had
3.
about 4 or 5, no lie.
I don't remember.
I was
definitely
It'd be
throwing
tempting.
mine.
It
I was
do be
throwing up
tempting.
W's.
I
Was-
used
shoot.
mine.
Sometimes
Changed
it
my
ain't even
major
worth
like
it.
5 times.
Really?
Yeah, I kept the same one. I was going to change
Yeah.
my major at first because it had too many foreign language requirements. But I kind of ran through them.
Why does theater have foreign language requirements?
Because it's a language-based art form.
True, but I'm gonna be acting in America.
Yeah, but you may not.
True.
I literally know someone acting in somewhere in South America right now. They didn't go to Kennesaw, but they did go to school for theater in New York.
But that's different.
Not really.
Coming out of New York, well, I don't know what the prestige is for Kennesaw's theater program, but coming out
We're
of
the
New
best
York,
in
I feel
Georgia.
like
Really?
people would be
Yeah.
looking for people in New York to come.
Well, they got it at the same convention that me and my friends auditioned for. Up the.
Cool.
Up the creek.
What up, y'all? You already know what it is. If you're new to this, then allow me to introduce. But if you're part of the fam, then welcome back. This is the YSO Podcast, Youth Speak Out Podcast. Podcast by the youth, for the youth, being a voice of the youth by giving a voice to the youth. And you already know who I am. But in case you don't, my name is Emmanuel. They call me Saint Even, but you can just call me God's favorite.
I always do this.
Why don't you come up with
I
them
don't
earlier in the
know.
day?
What movies?
Why It's Tracy Morgan speaking on my phone.
You thought the same thing.
What movies have I watched lately?
We'll come back to you. Hi, everybody. It's Ashton.
What's going on, man? You already know who it is, boy. It's CK. We out here.
On your shirt. Just be.
I don't even know who that is. I'm gonna be Ace from Paid in Full. Just cause of my comments.
You ain't
earlier.
hear me? Told you I'm out. Breathing different. My body different. You just got shot. You be alright, nigga. Yo, if you look up, like me and him was watching a podcast. I don't know what Queens podcast is
Flip the
named,
script. Do you know who Wayne Perry is?
Yeah.
but he interviewed Dan. I don't know his last name, but the FBI
Dan
agent.
Riley.
Yeah, who like brought down Alpo and like Wayne Perry and all them. And because I didn't remember specifically who Alpo was when he was talking about him, I just remembered that he was one of the three. And then like later on, I had looked up a picture of Alpo and I saw him dressed down in like a little Gucci outfit, and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely Rico. Even though like I knew it was Rico like after a while. Because he was talking about how he was in jail and how like he admitted to certain things, and stuff like that.
I posted the snitch.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
they was like,
easiest way to remember.
yeah, and
Yikes.
the picture is just hilarious. And if you look at him, you're just like, yeah, he was definitely that character. Like he was definitely him.
No, yeah, people that was even like outside hustling and everything during that era was like Paid in Full really captured the spirit of their movement. Like, just I mean, I think the only thing it probably falls short on is really understanding like how broad their like dominance was.
Yeah.
In the drug game, like they really was holding it down in a very vicious way. Vicious as in like populace. I'm not accusing them of any violent crimes.
Well, one of them was convicted for.
Hey, look, man, I'm not in the judicial system. With that being said, today's episode is very
Real
special.
quick, before we get started the episode, what am I supposed to be? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
If you are familiar with the show, then you know we had a added host, Hannah. She will be no longer with us. She is going to college at FAMU, and so we send her our best love and our congratulatories.
Aggies, where are they?
They're the
FAMU
Rattlesnakes.
or Rattlers. So yeah, Hannah, we're going to miss you,
Who is
and we
the
thank you
Aggies?
for your
Texas A&M.
contributions to
I'm
the
in, like,
show.
HBCU.
And we know you're going to do
Me
well
neither.
at
I think
FAMU.
so. Shout out to the
Yeah,
Orange and
good
Green.
luck, Hannah.
Indeed, much success to Hannah and her new ventures. You know what I mean? She went to one of them historically blacks. Good for her. We didn't
Down
go
in
that route
Tallahassee.
over here.
We did not.
You
Very.
was your first school one?
PWI.
No, they were. Oh, they were. Yeah. We
Well,
was-
it was black, but it
But it
wasn't
wasn't
HBCU.
You right.
Man,
yeah, we went the predominantly white institute route over here.
definitely PWI.
At least I was in Atlanta though.
It's,
So it
well,
felt
actually, I
black.
think
Right.
Georgia
Yeah.
State isn't a PWI. It's something, but it's not a PWI. I forgot what the acronym was, but I remember seeing it. It's not a PWI. It's something else, but it's like
It sound like
it's
rebranding.
like a step. It's just
Exactly.
like
They
PWI is tier
gentrification
1.
PWI?
White people. What we are is like tier 2, which is like we got black and white people,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I cannot
Well,
remember for the
HBCUs
life
have
of me.
white people.
They do.
Which they shouldn't, in my opinion. I feel like if you go to a HBCU and you're a Caucasian, you should not get a scholarship. I don't care how good of a student you are.
I don't think many of them do. That's probably
Some
rare.
I've seen
I'm
some.
sure it
What?
happens, but it's probably
Why
rare.
would you go to a HBCU?
Because
Well,
what if
sports?
So if
Yeah,
I want to
which
be a
is
lawyer,
understandable.
and I look at some of the best law schools in the nation,
Howard.
has one of the best law schools
Yeah,
in the
true,
nation.
true.
So why not go there and do my poli-sci degree and then do law school? You know. Also, some of them go just because of different adoration they have for that school. Like I used to want to go to UCLA because of Kevin Love.
I used to want to go to Duke. Actually, I wish I would have went to Duke. But I visited Duke. Looks like a Catholic school. Like the buildings
I hear
and stuff.
all
Yeah.
of North Carolina colleges look like that.
Really?
Yeah, I hear like.
Well, we
the-
went
the
on a North
architecture of their
Carolina,
school
or
just
not North
looks
Carolina, but a
so
college
religious.
tour up there. Like we went to Vandy. We went to, I think we went to NCA&T.
Vandy's in Tennessee.
You were absolutely right. So how did we get to Duke? We didn't go to Vandy.
I was
I'm
about to
sorry.
say this. It's not that far.
Did
like,
we go?
Tennessee is not that. Nashville is not far from.
I think we did.
The
I don't
Carolinas.
remember all the schools we went to, but we weren't even supposed to be at Duke. We were going to the botanical gardens up there, and apparently that's like in walking distance to Duke. So we just went to tracking, and of course you know me. I went to the school store. I was looking for. It was around the time that Kyrie was there, so I was looking for him. And Nolan Smith, but apparently they wasn't, accessible at the time. But
That was funny.
I got some Duke sweats, sweat. They were stolen.
I got them right now. I stole them.
Oh.
Just
I
let
was
everybody
to
know.
say,
I thought you said like you stole them from the store.
No,
I was like, what?
I was like, all right, Jello. With that being said, this week's episode, you know what I mean, very special topic. I want, the title that came to me was, We Can Be Basic Too. And the reason why is because here at the YSO Podcast, we give you very unique content. You line us up against a lot of other podcasts, especially a lot of urban and youth-based podcasts, and you're getting the same topics over and over again. You're getting the same clickbaity, trying to get the viral moment type of situations and conversations. And whereas, sometimes our topics naturally diverge into some of those lanes, we give you the real. We talk about anything under the sun. We break it down in such a way that's so natural that you really can't compare us to the rest. But I thought to myself, hold on, because though we operate in our own lane,
I'm sorry.
don't ever think we can't give it up the way the rest of the basics is doing it. So I felt like, I scoured the internet, looked for some of the viral moments in urban, talk shows and podcasts, and their little clickbaity moments that they create. And I'd say, why not YSO get a chance to crack a few, 75 mile per hour fastballs down the middle, all the way out of the park like Shohei Ohtani. You know what I mean? So that's what this is today.
Okay.
We just going to tackle some of y'all's favorite. Y'all like them. Y'all, the viewerships like them. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to them other podcasts either. We don't even see other podcasts. Like, we watch them, but we don't see them when we pod it. Because you know what I mean? It's all about what's in your purview. We like track and field greats, you know what I mean? We only see our lane. We only see the hurdles. We Sydney McLaughlin. You know what I mean? And there could be other greats around us, but all we see is the hurdles and the finish line. Shout out Sydney and the 2 gold medals she just won. With that being said, are y'all ready to kick this off?
Let's get it.
Kick it off.
Man, look, this first
Like a
one,
punt.
this first one, I'm gonna give us a little bit of a layup.
Okay.
How well do you handle rejection when you have tried to make an advancement on
Man,
someone?
I feel like I handle it really well because I'm so used to it.
I keep trying until I'm not rejected. Because
Okay,
I
so we have
cannot
a
just
persistent
I'm not just
individual.
gonna accept.
Time out.
So you don't accept no for an
Time
answer?
out.
No.
Not I.
Are you talking? What are you talking about?
We talking about just like trying to, if you slide in some DMs, you walk up to somebody trying to get
And
to know
that's
them,
what you're talking
you
about.
trying to make any advancement in the, not like a sexual advancement.
So
just
when
like
women do
trying to
it, that's
create a
justified?
scenario,
What you mean?
Like you, if your stance was if at first you don't succeed, you pick yourself up and try again, right? But
Yeah.
women tend to not like when they reject a man and he keeps being
Well,
persistent.
okay, I'm not gonna. If I walk, I would never walk up to a guy.
No.
in
I'm
person.
talking about,
but
like-
even like in a DM, I would like
Yeah.
let it sit for like a month until I try again. I'm not just gonna be DMing you every single day, going crazy.
So what would you say to a guy, like, for example, let's say that I slid in a woman's DMs respectfully. Like, I came on the most respectful, hey, beautiful, how you doing? My name is Christian. I think I just wanted to let you know I think you're beautiful and I want to take you on a date sometime. She doesn't reply. What does that mean?
She's not interested.
Did she read?
Yeah, she read it.
Oh yeah, she's not. She's not going for it.
I'm not even ugly, though.
You're not ugly.
Maybe you're not her type.
Yeah, or maybe she already has somebody who's doing everything for her. Or
Maybe she's
Guess what her
focused on
skin
her kid
complexion
and
was.
she don't want to.
Just guess.
Guess what her skin? Was she dark skin?
Nah, she was light skinned.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't?
Nope.
Wow, that's
She was brown skin. So this is for you.
What?
You two called me colorist.
I didn't call you colorist. I said your
didn't call
resume
you.
was colorist.
I just said that.
That's
Yeah,
a fact.
my resume is definitely.
That's a fact.
Your
It's,
resume
but your
is
history.
colorist.
from
But
what we
now
have
you
seen-
see.
it is what it is.
Now
It's
you
not-
see.
But the thing about it is,
I'm
that's just
shooting.
not like me. That's
Okay,
what gave me
okay.
a
I'm
chance.
pulling
like,
up. It's just rimming
feel
out.
me?
So
It's hard in the DMs because first of
It
all,
is hard.
Guys
I would-
don't really take good pictures, so we don't really get the full scope.
My Instagram is fire.
Like
Even the older men, they don't.
they don't really.
My
That doesn't
Instagram is
apply to
fire.
Christian. Christian's Instagram's pretty
you have
good.
a nice Instagram.
Yeah.
You do.
He
And
be
I don't-
fleeing,
But you
brush with his
sometimes
pics,
you
good
want to see
lighting.
in person. You got to see somebody in person, or you got to see them on their
But
story. Or
me
like,
personally, I would rather catch you in person because it like I'm
it's
witty.
better. Yeah.
Not
I'm
me.
witty. So like, and you know where I attest
I
that
done
to?
had such vicious turn downs in person.
Really?
Give it to me over there.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
You did-
What if
you
that was
did
my
tell us that
13th
story.
reason?
Bro, it would've been.
I attest that to watching battle rap, like my witty comebacks and like just thinking of stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
So me personally, I would much rather catch a woman in traffic
I'm
because
just
then she
smart.
has a less reaction time. So it's not less reaction. She has less time to think about what she's gonna say. When you slide in DM, she can sit there and look at it and think.
and stare and
Yeah.
look you up and everything.
Right. But
yeah.
in person, it's like you're right there in the moment. So we in this. So yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Can I ask a question? This is for Ashton. Would you date a guy with no car?
Mm-mm.
We got a question similar to that later on. So I'm glad
Because
you
I
opened
like to
that up.
get picked up to go on a date. I don't want you to come to my house. I don't have to drive to you all the time, and unless you're putting gas
Be
in my
careful
car.
with that.
If you put
Oh, you
all the
have a
gas in my
boyfriend.
car.
Never mind. Ladies out there, y'all be careful. If you don't share your location with somebody, you should. Make sure you texting people when you leave in a location. Texting when you get to a location. It's crazy out in the world right now.
Timestamps.
So I want all of my
Yeah.
beautiful black queens
Yeah.
to be safe, and all of you other extraterrestrials, y'all be safe too. That was a joke. I'm kidding. Don't edit it.
Andrew, you said that you take rejection well because you're so used to it. How does? Because
That is
I'd
funny.
say I'm someone who, you know what I mean, has got my reps up in the reject land. How does
Oh my god.
how does
Don't say
that,
that.
not only help with the ability to be rejected, but how does that help inform the next time you know what I mean, you try and make something happen with someone?
I say it like this. I've always been the one that they would be like, I bet you won't do this, and I do it. So like there'd been times where like I would go without wanting like to actually get your number, but I'm still gonna do it and get rejected in those times, and I think that's what prepared me for like being the you know what I'm
Putting
saying?
up shots you don't care about.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when
That
the
does
game
make
on
it
the
easier.
line-
Yeah, because it makes
yeah.
it easier, one, to talk to a stranger. I could talk to strangers like it's nothing. And plenty of times I've been like, you know what I'm saying, just trying to talk to a girl, and then most of the time, because I'm nice, they'll immediately put me in that category. And like, so sometimes I expect it, and it's like I've been rejected way more than I've succeeded in my life. You know what I'm saying, with women. So like, to me, it's like I go expecting that, because then it's like I don't get my hopes up, so like I won't be let down almost. And then if I get it, that's lit. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel good about it.
Do you guys approach, when it comes to either someone who's a stark stranger that you're trying to make an advancement on versus someone you know to any degree, do you approach those differently?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier if somebody, you know them a little bit, because you know
Yeah.
which questions maybe to ask that will like pique
Or
their
know of them,
interest.
and they know of you.
But
I
other
feel
than
like
that,
that's
no.
easier.
Yeah,
I still
but the approach is pretty much the same.
yeah, my approach is the same. Make you laugh, get you talking, ask your name, and get your credentials, what you doing, like at the moment, like if I'm like,
Social
if, say it,
security
like, yeah,
number.
Who you with?
Which alphabet? The what's it called? Alphabet agency you work with?
I'm dead.
like if I catch a cutie out at the mall or something, you know what I'm saying? My first thing is like to be random, to get her to laugh, and so that way if I get her laughing, it'll be easier to talk to her. And then I'm just like, all right, so like, what are you doing right now? Like, are you in a hurry? You about to leave? You about to go to the food court? Like, what's up? Like, I can walk with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that. And then from then it's, all right, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? And so like, usually all I do is, if I know who they are, I'm taking out the name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your name part? And if you're single, you know what I'm saying? Because if I know you, I need to know if you're single or not.
Does that really matter?
What? If
It
they're
should.
single?
It depends on what you're shooting for. If you're shooting
Very
for a
much
relationship,
so.
it matters.
That's
If you're
Yeah.
not shooting for a relationship, I don't see why it could matter at all.
If you're not
At
shooting
all.
for a relationship, it's still wrong. if they're
For
not
them.
single.
Yeah, for them.
You don't know that person. You ain't that.
That is not no.
Look, you ain't. If it ain't my brother, your
What-
shorty single.
What brandish of loyalty do you have to their relationship?
I just feel like that's like I wouldn't want somebody trying to come up and press
Yes,
up on
but
my
that's
nigga
between
if-
you
Yeah.
and your
Okay,
man.
of course, but like I'm not gonna purposefully ever go after somebody that I know is in a relationship.
You don't know.
Well, then that wouldn't be my fault because I didn't know.
That's
but
what
if
he's saying.
If I did know,
Even if you know, I don't.
If I do know
unless you
for a
owe
fact-
loyalty to the other person that they're with, in some way or shape or form, I don't really think. I used to be like the person who's like the person on the outside is just as wrong, this, that, and the third, yada yada yada. But
they're
I don't
not
really.
just as.
I don't think they're even wrong at all. Like
I feel like you bringing bad energy into your life if you go into that arena. You
I've
bring
been in a
yourself-
position where I was talking to a young lady, and like she ended up not ghosting me, but like I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said no, and
I don't hear
I
any
found
ghosting.
out,
That was
and,
an answer, baby.
and she basically her reasoning for that was because she was about to move from Snellville to Tucker, so she didn't want to do the long distance thing. No less than like a week
She was
later.
moving
That's
to
like
Tucker.
that video you sent me with
But-
homie was in
but-
Brooklyn and
was
short-
I gotta-
Oh, God,
But
That's not-
mind you, at this time I have a whip, so and that plays a part
She
in what
said
I'm about
long
to say
distance,
next.
and
yeah,
she was in Tucker.
30 minutes. I
Oh,
would have made the
heck
drive,
no.
bro. And from
Are y'all
then,
in high school?
My girl-
yes, this is in high
My
school.
girlfriend now lives 40-something minutes away from me. I get we're older, but still, like I don't.
But it's like-
Right.
What is that?
Well, in
bro,
high school, going to different high schools is long distance.
True.
True.
No,
True.
it's
But
not.
like if you
In
have
high
a car,
school.
if you
Different.
have
No,
a
no, no, no.
car-
I understand.
Different high
you
schools in the
saying
same
it.
county. No, but she was in a different county, which is
But you had a
understandable.
car though.
Even
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
same county, people don't do that because it's like
If you in the
I-
same region, I should say region.
I used
'cause
to know girls.
if
who
I played the school,
specifically was
that's
like, if you go to
different.
school with me, I'm not dealing with you. Maybe that's just a
Oh, I feel
decab
that.
mind
I
state,
feel
but like
that.
they only dated
Probably.
dudes who didn't go to their school.
why?
Because if you go to my school, it's more access to drama and problems, issues.
Yeah.
They're birds. I don't know.
But basically, no less than a week later, I find out that she's talking to somebody that I know on the football team, and it's
At
just
your
like
football team?
on my football team. And what pissed me off about it was this man lives on the exact same street I do. If you come out of my neighborhood, make a left, he is the first neighborhood on the right. So, and he did
So that was
not
cap.
have a car. Exactly, it
Oh,
was cap.
that was
That's
big
what that's
cap.
what made me mad. Like, why would you lie to me? You don't have to lie to me and
You don't
say,
have to lie,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You don't want to do the long distance thing
gotta
because
lie
now
to
you're doing the
kick it,
long
man.
distance thing.
You do not.
And you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. It was just like, yo, like why you? I don't even remember why I said this
So
story.
maybe it was just because.
What was Christian just talking about? Because I said it in response to him. I can't remember. When I mix it back and I listen back, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's why I said it, and it'll be too late. I'm gonna be mad because I can't remember right
Don't
now.
remember. But to your rejection point, I saw a tweet that said high value men don't chase women.
They don't.
I'm
I think
the
a lot of
catch.
women.
But that's because, well, high value by the societal definition, they don't. Because high value men, by the societal definition, are always getting chased by women. But men of high value, like just good men, they don't chase women. But I do know good men who will pursue
Who
women.
pursue? Yeah.
Well,
Shit, I don't
pursue
care
and
how
chase,
high value you are, I'm
they're
gonna
synonymous, but
pursue.
they're not the same.
Yes, I agree. And I think good men and high value men are not the same.
They're not.
Actually, I
Very
don't think
much
they
so.
really have much to do with each other other than like certain principles that not even like the actual like having those principles and the application of them, just like what the principles they believe they have are.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
yeah.
outside of that, I don't really think they are the same at all. I had a whole conversation with myself about this. And I literally, while I was having it, I was like, this would be a great podcast moment.
Well, I was at one of my partner's little sister's graduation parties, and one of my friends was like, "Yo, do y'all think Future is a high value gentleman?" He didn't say gentleman, but he was like, "You think he high value or whatever?" And one of my homies made the greatest point. He was like, "To the woman he attracts, yes. Like if you think about it, high value and like the value comes from whoever it is wants that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
if I."
Because what you value determines what is high or low.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like very much so like people like Future and then somebody like Kevin Samuels who is a self-proclaimed alpha male and you know what I'm saying, businessman and this, that, and the third. Like their value is different to the if we're talking about the same woman. You know what I mean? And
But in large parameters, they're both high
And
value men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Which is
saying?
why I don't like using that term,
Facts.
because what are you talking about?
So are they saying high value in terms of how much money they make?
High
Like
value
how
men in
successful they are?
today's era
Yeah.
has a lot to do with that. It's about
That's lame.
here. Now I'm kind of getting into the conversation I have with myself. So I think in society, right, throughout history, and all of what I'm about to say, well, not all, but majority of what I have to say is the product of patriarchy. So it's a construct that white men, but men created that
Yeah.
to a degree kind of has a bit of this conundrum now. Being a man has been based on, in short and in simple, the 3 P's in my mind. Provide, protect, please.
Yep.
Can you provide for a woman and your family? Can you protect your woman and your family? Can you please your woman? You should, I guess please your family as in being a pleasing father, but you shouldn't be pleasing your children and that way. Nevertheless, and so throughout all of history, if you had 2 of the 3 P's, you're a steal. If you have all of the 3 P's, you're the man who every woman pines over, dreams about. You're the man that mothers tell when they're telling their daughter what type of woman to be. They're thinking of a man like that for her to nail if you have all 3 P's. If you had 1 P, it's just like you're a human living life, right? And so a lot of being a high value man, and even what a lot of men interpret and understand as being a good man, is ingrained in those 3 things. Especially specifically in our culture as black people, because providing and protecting for so long was beyond our means, like literally just like not possible because we were black and there was no wage to make. First we were slaves, and then beyond that, most of us wasn't able to make money. Most of us aren't able to realistically protect in a world full of racism and Jim Crow Souths and this, that, and the third. A lot of power became being put into pleasure, which is why a lot of black men, for a lot of generations, their main goal wasn't being good or even really being present. It was just not only bedding as many women, but having as many children with as many women, because that was the metric they could define their manhood on. As we get more and more into modern times, we have more ability to provide and to protect, and so that becomes, added into the value system. Always was there, but more prominent because now we have more access and ability to do it. And as that grows, you get into, as the generations go on, what is now like, okay, what's the ideal good man? The problem is the shift started to happen, the awakening, if you will, and realizing, okay, what we want and expect isn't just necessarily intrinsically what goodness is. And that really started with women. As women started to get more ability to provide and protect themselves, and even please themselves, but really provide and protect for themselves, you then have to, okay, if I can provide and protect for myself, then you being able to do it isn't what can define your manhood. I can't be like, oh, he's a good man because he can provide and protect for me. That means I'm a good man. And whereas you can be a good person, a good woman, good individual, head on your shoulders, this, that, and the third, that can't be intrinsically about manhood.
Right.
If you can master it as a woman.
Yeah.
So then what is it that I truly want from a good man? It is provide, protect, and please still, but it's not the things that you were taught they were. It wasn't just, does he have money and can afford a house and put food on your table and clothes on your back, things for you to cook and clean? Can he, if need be in a situation where he can intercede on your behalf, physically or beyond that? Really, a lot of that, those 3 P's, in my opinion, especially, and maybe because I'm Christian, this has a lot to do with it, but majority of that is very spiritual.
Facts.
When you look at a lot of times when these podcasts are asking these questions, I don't know if you guys saw the viral clip. It comes back around. If you guys saw the viral clip of the dude, it's a group of them, and he's talking about how he could hire a maid to clean. He could hire a chef to cook. Like, what is your value? And the woman that was responding back to him with a level of passion, it was a panel of them, was saying how, she cooks and she cleans and she makes your house a home and this, that, and the third. Yeah. But when she was saying she makes your house a home, she was saying that, and then she was giving examples of these very physical, tangible things. Mm-hmm. Cooking, cleaning, this, that, and the third. And he I can do all of that, not understanding the value in the first statement. I make your house a home. Women's value, since the beginning of time, outside of like the valuable thing they walk around with in the lower region, but their value as women, right, has always been on the spiritual level. It's always been intangible in the sense of you cannot just physically state what makes you a good and great woman.
Yeah.
It's felt. It's understood. When a man has a great woman, he feels it. He becomes a great man more and more if he's, a good man. If he's not, then he abuses it. But you feel it. It's completely spiritual. It's a minutia. It's the colors that you see. It's the sounds that you hear. It's the way the wind blows. It's things that cannot be finitely explained. And I pay for this and I do this and I give you juice box and this, that, and the third. And that value, I guess context of that value should be the same for men.
Yeah.
But because of patriarchy and because of generations and centuries of this ingraining of those triple P's are these tangible, finite, fixed physical things, men miss the fact of it's not just about protecting, like, do I have the blicky or am I willing to this, that, and the third, but it's about being a spiritual protector, about being a stone wall for negativity, for being this, for being that. When it comes to providing, it's not just about I can pay for this and I'll put you in this and I Birkin bag, but it's about being able to provide experience, being an addition in any way, whether it's knowledge, whether it's spiritually, whether it's being someone that when she comes to you, you add on, you build, you are foundational and also a method of increase, right? I recently had the realization that I was like, a good woman should make a man's life easier. A good man should make a woman's life better. That's just like how, like, that popped into my head, and I was like, that's really the metric. And whereas there are very much physical things that can be examples of that, it can't be real if it's not on the inside first.
Facts.
We just suck. We as a med, we suck at the actual value. And so, what is being a high value man? To answer your question in this very long-winded way, these days, it's, can you buy me this, take me there, nails done, hair done, everything did.
That's just sad.
Can you lay down
that
woodchuck
only goes
woods?
so far. That can only
so
do so much for you. Like, you're not going to feel satisfied with that forever.
But they say they'd rather cry in a Phantom than a bus.
I get wanting to have it for a little while because it's fun. It's fun when a nigga wants to spend money on you and wants to take you out and wants to get your hair done and all that stuff. It's amazing. But that's all that you can do. You can't do anything else for me. I don't want just money for the rest of my life. I want to feel protected and like loved and cared for and
I
feel
comforted,
speaking
I
of
feel like
protection, right? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you know about the young lady Miriam that passed away this weekend. Did you hear the?
I did.
Okay. What do you think about
Y'all
that?
talking
I
about
would
the one
come
with
back
the
to
boyfriend?
life and kill
Yes.
my boyfriend. I'm sorry.
He went to high school with me.
He went to
Are you
South?
serious?
Yeah, he went to South.
That's crazy.
That's why I did not know that's why everybody do him. Like, I knew.
So you heard about the young lady Miriam that passed away, the bartender that got followed to. Originally came out that it was her house.
Yeah.
But it was his house that she got followed to by this guy. He kidnapped her at gunpoint, took her, and ended up killing her.
And then left her body.
Yeah, they left her body.
That's so sad.
Somebody found her. They caught the guy, but so the 911 call came out, and he watched her get taken while on the phone with 911 saying, "My girlfriend is getting taken. I just watched my girlfriend get taken." And so people on Twitter were going at him like, you post pictures of guns and this, that, and the third. You have a Hellcat. Why didn't you jump in the
What
car?
does the Hellcat have to do with the
Because he could
situation?
catch him in the
Okay, he can drive.
There's
Okay,
no
I
way
was
his
like,
car's
why-
faster than mine.
No, in any way, shape, or form.
So they were
That's-
asking
yeah.
like, why didn't you try to do something? And I had a conversation with a couple people about this, and I was talking to Andrew earlier about this, and it's like that fight or flight kicks in.
It's real.
And his was flight,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because people
And
tried
you
to make
can't
an
fake
excuse
that.
for him
Yeah, you can't
and say
fake.
that he's on felony parole.
I'm sorry.
The
If
baby
you love
was on
me-
parole, was
When
a
he-
felon
when he
when he
shot
killed
somebody
that
in
kid in Walmart,
Yeah.
and that was considered self-defense.
Right.
So
And
I
it
don't want to
wasn't
hear
even
about
there
you
was no
being
gun
on
shown
parole.
yet.
I'm like, you don't.
He
love
just
me
walked
at
up on
all.
him while
I'm
he was with
sorry.
his daughter. He put his daughter down and said, "Hold her real quick," and went and handled his business. even though it was self-defense because
Well, they tried to rob him or something?
Something like that.
They was on a lot of
A lot of hood.
But yeah, I wanted
a lot of hood
to. Yeah, I
energy
just
in
wanted to.
Walmart.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, but it is like a natural human reaction. You're gonna react one or the other.
and you can't
so
fake
I
what
understand
someone you
everybody
are.
blaming
Yeah.
him, but you never know like what you're gonna do in that situation.
People will
Now,
say,
me,
"Oh,
if it was my nigga, I would come back to life and kill him myself."
How
I
would
be
you manage
pissed.
that?
I don't know. God is gonna help me do
Like, hey,
something
cuz,
else
please,
because
just
there
let me
is
go
no
back there
way
for 15
because
minutes,
I'm sure
cuz.
he was telling her this whole time they were together, baby, I got you and I'll protect you and da 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 da. And I would
Probably.
just be like, I'm standing here and I know he's in the house. I know.
Apparently,
he's in
she
there.
was screaming and stuff too.
Yeah, like of course. You didn't even want to run
She was-
outside. Just
Yeah, my
Just-
dad always says
Like
that
what?
you never know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation.
yeah.
But like me personally, I know my first reaction would not be to call 911.
Yeah, not to
I
pick
don't
up
think
the
that's
phone.
my first reaction to anything.
At all.
Ever,
I'd probably
ever.
get
I'm
shot and
immediately
I'd be like,
exactly.
Got a car.
Exactly.
My first,
I'm surprised that he didn't
Yeah.
just run outside. That's crazy to me.
yeah,
But I'm
it's,
sure he's hurting bad and feeling bad
Absolutely.
about himself.
And that's probably what sucks is
Yeah.
the hurt that he's experiencing
It's
the
It's
now
guilt-
doubled.
The guilt
Exactly.
that he's feeling,
Yeah.
everything he's feeling now with the world at his neck.
it's
probably
ridiculous.
I feel like the worst thing
unsurmountable
for
right
him was that 911 call being
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
most definitely. Somebody
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, he sounded like a little girl," and I was just like, first of all, that's
Oof.
I don't
I
know.
would be
We don't-
scared.
I've only
There's,
seen what they think, like people talking about, like
yeah. I've only seen people who
Yeah, I haven't seen
yeah.
it.
I only
I wouldn't
only
even want to know.
only family I know she has is there's a girl that I went to school with that was in a few of my classes that was her little cousin, I think. And that was how I figured out about it in the first place. Like I saw her post about her, and she posted like a picture of her and the girl who was killed and like another one of their cousins when they were like kids. And so
Cute
like
girl,
it was
too.
she was
Yeah, she was pretty. She
beautiful.
was
Yeah,
a
she's very
beautiful
pretty.
woman.
And
That's so sad.
after I saw that, I started to see her on everybody else's story, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, so this is somebody that a lot of people must know." And then
Did she go to school in Gwinnett or something?
She probably did.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people posting her too.
She
from
probably
around
did.
Here. So
Like,
I'm
if
sure
she's if she
local,
cousins with
yeah.
What's her name? That she
But
probably
yeah, I just
definitely
wanted
went
to
a
get your
Gwinnett.
opinion on that.
Shoot. You never know.
I want to talk about what we were talking about immediately before this. One thing I've like kind of noticed is that most people don't understand the effects of like the cyclical nature that black and brown children go through when the father is not in the home, and I firmly believe that like a lot of people tend to dismiss like the severity of it because of how it's portrayed in movies and stuff like that. Like we see it and like we kind of been desensitized to it, even though this like was the plot the entire time to take the black man out of the home, because if you can take away him, you can effectively destroy a family. And a lot of people like will try to say like most of the time mothers will love their sons but raise their daughters, and it's like we experience, like I feel like we experience not to say it's equal, but it's not one has it worse than the other. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Where it hurts men, young men, we're not taught how to treat women with respect.
Nope.
We're not taught how to control our emotions. We're not taught what it actually means to be a man, because it takes one to teach one how to be one. You can't just learn. Like, eventually, you might learn, but you will learn well into your late 20s or early 30s after you've done all the dirt that you've done.
And some niggas is late to the curve.
And
They learn
wait,
at
yeah.
9
They are
and 14.
exactly.
Exactly. And that's the issue that we have as men, but with women,
We also don't know how to express our emotions properly.
facts properly.
Or
At
even
all.
communicate those things as well.
Very much so, because we immediately start to react with our bodies instead of with our words. But with women, where it hurts them is they don't know what it is to be loved, one, properly, so they don't know where to find it. You know what I'm saying? So like what they think they want are the things. My entire head. So do I sink or like just sit back? Okay, so basically, like they're not taught how to, you know what I'm saying, how to love themselves. Not saying that women out there don't know how to love themselves, because a lot of them, learn eventually, but to be taught how to properly like love yourself enough to know when you're being mistreated is an important aspect of a young woman's life.
It has to be ingrained.
Ingrained from childhood,
like,
because then once you get to your teenage years, you might have one or two heartbreaks, and you know what I'm saying. But it's like if your father does allow you to date, of course he's gonna want to vet the individual, and you're gonna bring him home, and he's gonna see the type of man he is just by looking at him. And a lot of men was one or two types of dudes growing up. Was the one playing, or the one getting played, and most of them was the ones playing. So if you bring that type of person in front of your father, he'll easily can tell you that's not the one that you should be around. You know what I'm saying? And then nowadays, you feel me? We put the celebrity couples on a pedestal. 9 times out of 10, these people aren't even happy together, and it's like,
shout out Amber Rose and AE.
And I feel no remorse for Amber Rose for one reason and one reason only. You had 21 Savage in the streets talking about some I'm a hoe, Captain Save a hoe, this, that, and the third.
I thought they were going to be together for a long time.
And I just want to know,
because when they got together, I was like, I don't think this is gonna last. But then when I saw him slut walking, I was like, this may last.
Yeah, I'm like, that's so cute.
I just want to know. I just want to know, how come you not supporting your husband being a slut? Because he is slut right now.
He's
so
not
like
slutting in the way that slut walk is about. Slut walk is about owning
your womanhood and your body and your sexuality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he is betraying her trust.
He cheated on Amber Rose?
12 different women that she knows about.
Is she still with him?
Well, yeah, nah. What he said, he was like on someone's like IG. No, she's not with him anymore.
Oh.
She just but this has been for a long time. She's just now being like she's done. But he was on y'all can find the post on the Shade Room. He was on somebody's like IG live, like kind of talk show podcast thing. And he was like, it was one of those situations where he was like, basically like, I could like fight for it and like tell her I'm gonna do right and this, that, and the third. But he was like, I don't want to do that to her, because it's like, I could, give her like 6 months and really, hold back and deprive myself from my true nature. But like, how long is that gonna last?
Your true nature.
So why did her and 21 Savage break up?
we don't know.
Yeah,
they just it was.
He probably woke up and was like, I'm not a slut. I can't believe this.
Exactly. You probably realized. You probably seen the pictures for real. It was like,
she had been shorts in a multicolored headband. I was
Big
like,
facts.
you could be there, but please put on a better fit.
Facts.
That is funny.
But yeah, we gotta. It's
hard.
It's very hard.
It's because people don't want to work on themselves, and then they pass on all of their
stuff
to their kids, and they just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, and it sucks because
and those who do the work, like when they get older and try and make up the difference, unfortunately, sometimes the difference isn't enough by the time you have kids. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And also another thing, like to further speak on, like, women will love their sons, like they will try to. And I saw a TikTok that was like, we as men want to be gentlemen. That is ingrained in us. We want to open the door for you. If we really like you, we want to get you. Stop it. We want to get you.
that specific one, I hate opening doors for you. Only under certain context. Let me correct that real quick. Just sorry to interrupt you, but I hate illogical opening the door for you. If you are significantly ahead of me, but stop at the door to wait for me, it's too illogical for me to get behind. I'm just like, are you serious? God gave you 10 fingers, 2 arms at work. That person can't open doors, but you can. And you going to sit here. I am literally 40 meters behind you. That's the only, other than that, yeah, I'll open the door for you for sure. Yeah. Continue.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. But I'm not gonna lie. I was one of the people that like would go out of my way to like open the door for you. So like I would make sure I would be like a little bit ahead of you, and like if you reach for it, I'd be like stop, and like I would open the door. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And he was like, "We want you." True, I did.
Well, I did, but you know what?
Okay, let's not.
We ain't gotta get into that. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then, but it's like women do indoctrinate their sons, like, don't be like your dad, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? You should do this and this, that, and the third. When we was in Florida, we went to Florida this past weekend, and we went to one of my grandma's oldest friends. She's about like 2-3 years older than my grandmother. She turned 85. Woman still walking, kicking, amazing. She beat cancer, all that. during one of the toasts, this lady stood up and said out of her mouth, I think the measure of a good son is if the mother would marry the son.
What?
And she
Yeah.
tried to explain
We
it.
all looked at each other like, what?
She tried to explain it and then went on and was just like, but you guys know what I mean. And I was just like, I looked at my brother, I said, no, bro, I do not. How is the measure of a good, if you did your job as a mother, if you would marry your child? That is the craziest
Disgusting.
thing I've heard in my life. And I think that a lot of women will try to turn their sons into the man that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's like,
I
there's a
think that's
reason
true.
why
That's
Big fact.
absolutely true.
there's a reason
That is
why
a fact.
some they call, you know what I'm saying, a lot of black men mama's boys. You know what I'm saying? Because
Shout
if
out
they
baby
did
boy.
have
Love
a
that
single mother, she poured all of her love and all of her attention into that boy, trying to turn him into the man she wished his father was in a lot of instances.
That is a
Maybe not so much the man that you would want for yourself, but the man that you would want another woman to have as.
Are they different?
They are different.
Why would, but I'm saying, but
I mean, but not
but
like
the-
Well,
not
that was
literally.
out her mouth.
Not
Indoctrinating is the
literally, but
same.
yeah, like
Yeah.
What you're
like-
gonna be indoctrinating is the same. You don't want for another woman less than you want for yourself. So I understand saying it's not the frame of mind, maybe consciously of I'm raising him to be the man that I wanted. But
Yeah, it's
if
more
you're
of a
ra-
subconscious
if you're,
thing.
if you're
Subconscious,
raising
yeah.
him in the light of he should be a man for a woman to do right by a woman, this and the third, you're basing that off the metric of what you as a woman
want.
think a man should be.
And I'm not saying that
Subconsciously,
that's
the metrics that you're gonna indoctrinate.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's, a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't raise your sons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you should instill the knowledge in them to be a good person.
For sure.
I'm just saying from the perspective that lady was talking about. There's plenty of... To say it out your mouth is one
Yeah,
thing.
there is a
but
lot of other ways
there
she
are
coulda
plenty
said
of women
that.
who are, I'm pretty sure, like, not would say that, but they're like emotionally, that's how they act towards their children. And then you have the clash that comes from them and their daughters, and a lot of them like push them away. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's every black mother, every single black mother, because there's plenty of people who have come from single parent homes and didn't have any of those issues with their parents. Because one, either their parents had a healthy relationship with each other, so they did have the chance to spend time with both their father and their mother. It was just one had sole custody of them. Or, you know what I'm saying, even if they didn't know their father or know their mother, they were still raised well enough by that person because they have healed from their trauma and they were able to impart the right wisdom and impart the right things in, a way that resonated with the child. So it's definitely, it's tough out here because we still in that cyclical nature, and it's like we got to break it, but like, you feel me? I feel like we're doing a lot better now than we were doing in like the 80s and 90s. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are starting to realize it takes two. You know what I'm saying? It takes two to tango.
A lot of awakening. It's a lot of coming to moments.
it is a lot. You gotta be intentional with yourself.
Facts.
This next one, turning up the heat a bit.
Turn it up.
I have to say it's gender based, so I have to say it one way for you and another way for us. So, to Ashton and the ladies watching at home, can you be with a man that you get more bread than? And for the fellas, can you be with a woman who touching more ends than you?
Absolutely.
Baby, you want me to put the maid outfit on and clean? Girl, I clean the attic. I'll clean the gutters. Where the ladder at? I'll do it. I'll learn how to build a vanity. I'll learn how to build.
I always wanted to be a stay-at-home husband.
Boy,
Oh my gosh.
What is
Y'all
that?
are funny.
I don't think women understand. Like, if y'all really want to switch roles, we can. Like, I don't want to be
Provide for me.
This is
I'm
this
not
is
putting
tough
no
out
babies
shit,
into the
B.
world, so they could keep that one.
You said what?
So I'm not putting no babies into the world, not out of my body. So they can.
Oh
keep
yeah,
that.
that's we
Technically.
can't switch that.
No, I'm saying even if it was possible, I'm saying I'm not doing it.
No, but technically,
He only put a
the
half
babies
out.
comes from you.
Yeah, but I don't have to actually bring it into the world.
Oh, yeah.
True. You know what I'm saying? Y'all receive by nature. So
On me.
I would
just
love
lost promising young woman.
to give you
They
everything
smile
I can
for
give
that.
you.
They,
I
they
love-
do give, too.
Ashton.
Facts.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I wouldn't even really like consciously think about that. Like I don't.
Nah,
care.
what if it's a very significant gap? Like you guys are in two different tax brackets.
Ooh, two different tax brackets.
Yeah. Like he qualified for a STEMI and you couldn't even dream of qualifying for a STEMI. Like that big of a difference.
Oh, I mean, okay, if he qualified, if he was at the high end making like 75, then I'd be like, okay.
I think 75 does
Was
not.
like the cutoff, right?
No, if you was
75K,
making
right?
75, you didn't get a stimmy.
That is horrible.
That was-
I don't know what the number was.
I'm pretty sure that
That's
was like
insane.
the cutoff. But
I know
mean,
that for the families it was 150,000.
two different tax brackets.
My
And then
dad
they raised it.
is in
It
the
depends.
six
Lowered it
figures,
to like
and
120.
he got
or
one.
something.
He got the
That's 'cause
first
has
one.
his-
I don't
he
think that
works
would
from
bother
his-
me.
It was something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. Like, I don't really care about stuff like that.
I would not complain if my woman made more than money than me. I'm gonna be honest.
Babe, can
I'm
I
not
get some money? I need to get my oil changed.
No, I would not be just sending him money just because I make more than him.
Why not?
Because
Ain't that what men do?
just send me
This is
money.
literally what we do.
Not you. I'm just saying in general. Like for a great example, right? When Baby and Jada were together, Jada has her own money. Jada got like 15 businesses. Hyperbole, but she got a lot.
Yeah, she does.
Right.
Baby paid for everything under the sun. Her bills.
They not together?
Nah,
Not no,
No,
more.
not
no
anymore.
more.
Every
You ain't seen a video of her wilding out?
Well, not
She been
molecular.
going crazy. She
on,
Let me
on
not
a,
be
on a
assumptive.
freaking
Not
hitting
me.
the, hitting
And
the whole
she was
booty
on
do
the-
Yeah,
on
she
the,
was going
the
crazy.
thing in the
Let me not be
The party
assumptive and say
bus.
every molecular thing in her life. I'm sure, like, if she wanted to go to McDonald's and get a small fry, she was good, and he ain't. You know what I mean? I'm just
Facts.
saying,
yeah.
like, her lifestyle was still, being paid for by her man. So I'm just like,
I
usually
mean,
when men make
I
more
would
money,
not
they do that type of stuff. I
solely
guess.
provide for a man, but that's because I don't expect a man to solely provide for me. I feel like it should be a balance. Like we both do things for
Well,
each
I don't
other.
think he's saying solely provide, but I think he's saying
I
like,
just need the money for the oil change.
yeah, like
Now, if you ask
things
me,
of
it
that
would
nature.
turn me off a little bit if you ask. Let me offer. Don't ask me for the money.
But what if he needs the oil change today and you ain't offered it?
Why don't you have more money for an oil change?
Maybe he just had an
I
emergency
do,
or something.
but you make more money, so
Okay, nah.
But
no.
that's what, his point is that's what men who make more money do. You'd be like, you can have the money, and he still pays for it.
I'll say for me personally, I only ask if I need. I don't ask because I want. So if you're asking me just because you want some money and not because you actually need it and you
I
already
do
have
need
your
it.
own,
I need the oil change.
but you don't need my money to pay for it.
But what if he do?
Okay, yeah. Then
Facts.
if you don't have it, then I'll send it to you. I got you.
Even if he asks?
Yeah. If you're like, hey, babe, I don't really have it right now. Can you do da? All right, got you. Cool.
That's lit.
That's fine.
Shout out to you. I remember I saw there was a TikTok. This woman was like, as a man, like, why are you asking me for my money? Like that would turn me off. Like, and the dude was just like, see, that's the thing that kind of annoys me. Like, it doesn't matter how, like, being a good man is not like a rewardable task. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, we're supposed to always be up. We're supposed to always be able to provide for myself and for you. So, like, God forbid I ever am in a position where I need, and you know what I'm saying, and you can, you feel me? You can be there.
Now
for-
you
I feel
are
like
less
that
of a
means
man
you don't
somehow.
love them.
Yeah, you know what I'm
don't
saying?
love them enough if
Well,
you're gonna look down on them when they're
well,
down bad. Like that's not.
You
cool.
are right, but
Very much
that's
so.
just the truth. They don't.
It's
Yeah,
sad.
like,
I
it's-
don't like that.
Don't get it twisted now, okay?
Look, man, this city
These
girl
women
culture
ain't
has
nothing
been.
either. Okay.
And like I feel that it's exciting to have somebody who has money. I get it, but it's just like that's not the end all be all. Like that's only a small part of life. Exactly.
Most of
Yes.
them
I would
do,
rather be treated well.
and that's
But
because
where are you being treated like dirt at?
In a Rolls Royce?
That is true.
Doesn't matter.
To you.
That is true. But that's
But
why you
it
can only do it
does
for
to
so
them.
long. You can
That's
only
why
do
John
that for
Gray's
so
wife didn't
long.
leave. She was crying in that Rolls Royce.
like
That's
then
right.
you in a
Low-key
situation where
nigga.
you dating Teddy from the block and he really up, like Teddy been up, he, you know what I'm saying, he got a way to wash his money and he got money coming in both dirty and clean, and he know the game, and he really in the game for real, and you think you want him for real, but no, you don't, because if you get with Teddy,
Well, no, she does want him.
well, yeah, you think
Yeah,
you
she
need
want
him,
Teddy.
you
She
know what I'm
want
saying,
Teddy.
because you want to be a part of that lifestyle, you want to be a part of that fast life, you know what I'm saying, you want to go here, you want to
Teddy
eat
Riley?
here. Sure.
Just crazy.
Straight up.
Facts. I just said
Riley,
Teddy
son.
Riley.
sure if that make you. If that make
What do you
feel
think
better.
about
Nah,
that statement
Teddy
that
Grahams.
says men get the woman that they want and women get the men that they, or something like that? Or they can or something?
Women get the man that they want and men get the women that they settle
No, it's
for, or
flip
something like
flop
that.
though. I thought it was men get the women.
I
that
know
they
the
want.
saying, but I don't know which
Yeah,
way it
I
goes.
don't know.
I don't know.
I forgot
It
how
really
it goes.
depends on who you are. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like if you're like certain dudes are only getting the women they can, and so like you look. I know a dude who He's like, I've never been. He literally was just said out loud, I've never been with a woman who's my type. And then we was like, why? And he was like, because the women that are my type don't want me. He was like, so I just get with the women that do.
Where the Carlos.
So sad. That is really sad.
Like,
oh my god.
But that's typically
That could be the
typically
case,
how
or
it
it
goes for
could
a
be
lot of
flipped.
people though, because some women, the men that they want, they can't get.
Yeah. I really think
That's
that's just
sad.
about who you are and then what you
Yeah.
wanting and expecting.
That's true.
So big.
It don't matter. Here's a good one. I love this one. Group dinner.
Group dinner.
Are you team split it all even or team I'm paying for what I ordered?
I'm paying for what I ordered.
As
We are
somebody who
black.
has
What are you
worked
talking
in a
about?
restaurant and they did not split checks, it was
Like, the
always
restaurant refused to?
yeah, like that was their policy. Like we don't do the splitting whole checks thing. Like if it's a party over a certain amount of people, like it wasn't like if it was like 4 or 5 people, you're fine. But like if it was I think 6 and above, like if it was a big party, we're not doing all that.
We cash shopping somebody, cause
Yeah, so like me personally, I'm not opposed to like being on one check, but I'm still going to pay for my meal.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna send you around it.
Or if,
Yeah, I'm just gonna send you the
them money.
rounded amount. You know what I'm saying? If I got something and it ended up coming up to like 26.73, I'm sending you 30. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no, you feel me? Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
like you feel me? And then you know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna leave my tip for my personal cash tip for the waiter or waitress. So I'm a firm
The term for
believer
both is
in
your server.
it makes true.
It's easier.
Yeah, very much so. It makes no sense to me.
They do.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Um,
It makes no sense to me for like us to split it evenly because, bruh,
like
like
why would I do that?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
like-
would I do
I'm
that?
definitely team paying for what I ordered. But I'm also a bit step further because not only am I team paying for what I ordered, I'm also, if y'all have a problem with that, I'll leave. And I won't pay for
Right.
nothing. Then what?
Cause why do we all
Because
have to split it evenly?
I'm not. And
Why? Why?
well, the argument
Exactly.
becomes
Like,
about
what?
when you're the person who's like, I had a tater tots and water and a Caesar salad, so I'm sending $12 to who? And everybody else was popping bottles,
Right.
champagnes, and this, that, and the third, shrimp, steaks, and lobsters.
Yes.
But it's like, okay, cool.
Y'all can pay
But-
for it.
And a lot of times people make it about you're the broke friend. Like the broke friends are the ones who care
No.
about paying for what.
I am.
And if you're the broke,
I'll be broke.
I am though.
like whether I am
factual.
or whether I'm not, what I'm not going to do is incur any financial responsibility for you. What you eat don't make me literally. So
Right.
I'm not paying for it. So I'm
Exactly.
going to pay for what I ordered.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to pay at all. And if y'all want, we can get it shaken in the parking lot because I'm not cool enough with none of y'all for you to not get beat up. So how do you want to handle it?
Even still, like if we really are that cool, then of course we're definitely getting it in the parking lot because we're gonna be all right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very
we can
much
fight
team
over
what I
anything.
See, like
ordered.
white people.
I don't
arguing
fight
about
over the
stuff
sticks
like that.
before.
Really?
I haven't seen. I've only seen the white people talk about it.
This one right here. This is specifically for us as Christians. It's a spin on something else I saw. But man, it racked my brain. I know how the good book, you know what I mean? All sex outside of marriage is a sin, right? Fornication, adultery, whatever it is. But when you are married, it, for better or worse, right, in a nice little paraphrasal way says, it's up and it's stuck. If it's you and your spouse, do what you do. And, you know, God looking the other way, you good. Which brings me to the question, if you and your spouse, married, make decision in unity, this isn't I'm doing this to please him, or she want this. This is something you both want, to invite a third member and have a threesome. Is that threesome a sin?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think it's because I
This is a part two
believe
too, so
I believe now. Don't quote me on this. I don't know no scriptures that say this, but I know for a fact whenever Jesus or God mentions sexual immorality, he talks about all of the stuff outside of marriage. So whether that's, you know what I'm saying, that's fornication, that's incest, that's rape, all of those things, you know what I'm saying, that is sexual immorality. So and he does say there's a like when he goes on the list, like there's a special place in hell for people who would participate in witchcraft, rape. He says orgies, and I think
Is
he
3 an
counts.
orgy?
I think that
Really?
he counts 3 as an.
Really?
To us, it's a group.
For me,
but you got to remember
orgy is 5 or more.
Facts to us.
Anything under 5, I don't consider an orgy.
But I
You
think
may be right.
from 3 on, I think it is an orgy.
I
Because
feel I
God
can see
intended
that.
it for
Yeah.
one and
Because
one.
if you think about it, once you invite another person, no matter who it is, somebody's committed homosexuality.
Yeah.
No, we in a new age, brother. One man, one woman, non-binary. We checking boxes. We checking boxes, man.
You trying to get off on a
Look,
technicality?
but I think you're probably right. He does probably consider 3 an orgy, and so
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, because part 2, if you think part 1 right in my brain, I couldn't. 1 year married, is masturbating still a sin?
Yeah.
How?
I think
Because it
masturbating
was
as a sin
before.
is stupid.
How?
It's stupid.
Okay, I understand
It
it
was
before.
before.
I'm definitely saying I think you should be able to masturbate. What if your partner wants you to masturbate for them, and this is a sex act in a marriage, but you are masturbating?
Man, that's different.
Now, okay,
How is
see,
it different? It's
It's
masturbation.
I don't
feel
know.
like Jesus
I don't know,
is
bruh.
just like that nitpicky. I don't feel like he's gonna be like, no, you was in the bed with your wife and you did da 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 da. I don't think it's gonna be like
I think
that.
it's
I
all
just
about
don't
the
feel like that.
intention.
That fall under the scripture, the marriage bed is undefiled.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking about. He said if the marriage bed is undefiled. If you married and come on, man. I think you
I
can
get
masturbate
it.
when you
I
married.
get it. I get it.
I think you can. I'm gonna die on that
But
unpopular hill.
Masturbating to please yourself or to please your spouse.
If
Yeah,
I'm married, why does it make a difference?
because it's with yourself. Yeah,
You not having
kinda.
So basically, Jesus is saying that sex should only be to please the other person.
Ooh, Jesus getting into something deep
Is
now.
that what you're saying?
So you should not work to please oneself?
Yeah.
Rude. That's mean.
Well, if we're being honest,
Cool.
if we're being honest, that's the
Y'all think-
whole
y'all
premise
think
of
Jesus
following
would-
Christ in the first
y'all
place.
think-
We're
Yep.
supposed to die to ourselves. We're supposed to crucify our
But
flesh
now I'm in a
and
marriage.
not succumb to those desires.
If-
please each other.
okay,
Yeah.
but listen,
Because that's what it's
What?
for.
sex is ordained.
You come together. You
sex
feel
is
me?
ordained for marriage. I'm in one. Why can't I have sex with myself?
Marry yourself, then.
Because it's self-serving. It's about you. It's about you. Like it's all about you. When you masturbate, it's all about you.
I need the Bill of Rights to the Bible. I need the amendments because it's.
I have a question.
I think you should be able to masturbate when you're married and not be a sin. Maybe
I-
it's not.
At
I mean,
what-
maybe it is a sin, but I think you should be able to.
You want to get another opinion?
Maybe.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Nah, that's gonna come with too
Okay,
many rules.
off
I'll ask
topic,
my
but kind of
mom.
on topic.
Don't
At
ask
what
him.
point in the Bible did incest become a sin? Because it was all in there.
I think it was after the flood.
I
Or
think it
sometime
I think it was.
like in that era, maybe not after the flood, but sometime near flood era.
I think it had to have been because if we're being honest, it was in the beginning because
Yeah.
it says that Cain married his sister. Because Cain when he murdered his brother, he left the family.
Yes.
But it said he came to know his wife. There was no other families on earth but Adam and Eve's family.
Right.
So he had to have one of their
Yeah.
sisters. So I think after that generation, once it became to the point where
Brother,
like it was
after
plentiful.
him, it's still
It's
it's
other
not
people.
mathematically possible for us to go from like say 6, 7, 8 people. Let's go with 8 people.
So
If we go from 8 to 100, bro, we're still all related.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
technically we are still all related if you think about it.
Yeah.
But
not
we're
in that
many,
type of
many.
way, bro. It's 7 billion people.
1 Corinthians 6:18, flee from sexual immorality. All other sin a person commits are outside of the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body.
So yeah,
Oh.
that's what it is basically.
But
I don't
you
know,
gonna
bro.
sin against yourself.
Cause remember, there's a lot of things that we don't technically know about
That is
the
crazy.
beginning. You know what I'm saying? Especially about how we don't know how many kids.
Sim people for them to reproduce with, and then deleted the Sims.
Possibly, who knows? I don't know. I just know that you know what I'm saying. At some point, they had to, and whenever they didn't have to anymore.
Well, Adam and
But
Eve
who
weren't
defined-
related.
Huh? No,
No, they
and Eve
weren't.
related. But
No, they
anything
weren't.
they could have created
Yeah, I
is
know.
related to each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Also, she came from his rib. That kind of is related a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bye.
She didn't genetically come from him, but she
Yeah,
physically
but she
came
physically
from him.
came
She
So
physically
you can say, yeah, they're of the same body.
They
I
have
guess.
different genetics, but I don't know.
So Romans
Shorty sound like a
8:6
clone,
says,
low key.
The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the spirit is life and peace.
And having sex when you're married isn't being governed by the flesh?
I mean, at least but it's legal now.
It happens in your body.
Because you went through the process of
Yeah.
the
Okay.
union before God, so he blesses
getting
it.
married makes
he-
one
yeah, go
specific fleshly desire okay.
Yeah.
I think that's weird.
I mean, I don't.
You gotta take that with the big man.
Yeah, that's
I think that's weird.
That's completely
Because if it's about
because you gotta
sitting
remember
upon-
we can't
for
understand his
sure,
thought process
but
behind
if if it's about sitting unto the flesh, coming to the flesh and sitting at all, like I still think having sex with your spouse falls under that. I get that in the rule book it doesn't, but it's hard to like mentally. It's just hard to separate. that from
Logically,
me.
it's
Yeah.
like
Well, the way I see it is,
Unless you're like, I'm not gonna nut. And that's what you're thinking the whole time. This doesn't feel good at all. Are you happy though? But
I guess.
because it's impossible to be like every time we have sex is because I want to please. Sometimes you want to get your rocks off.
True.
And if you married, you allowed to do that, even though it's
But it's because your union has been recognized by God. So like it's like okay, run along now, have fun.
But then why can't?
but don't have too much fun.
Exactly.
Though. Like what?
Have fun, but within the
even have to-
parameters that
it's-
I've given
it's,
you.
It's have one fun, really.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to know how you govern your own body. How they handle themselves in their bedroom may not be how another couple does.
Yeah.
Right,
You
I
know
know that.
that. Yeah.
Like
A lot
Tiana.
of people be out here crazy.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And Candy and her husband.
And Tiana and Amon. Tiana and Amon.
And
Dang,
Dwayne Wayne and
somebody
Gabrielle
pregnant?
and Gabrielle Union.
I thought I heard about.
You know they freaky.
Who?
Dwayne and Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Is that kink shaming? Can you kink
Very
shame
much.
your spouse?
Wait, what?
Let's be
She said
honest.
if
We need to
something
bring back
makes
shaming
someone else
of various
uncomfortable, like,
forms.
makes them uncomfortable, then
You
you
said
cross
kink
the
shame?
line. But it's like, what if like
I
you're
guess it
comfortable?
depends.
Oh,
It depends
kink.
on what
I
it
thought you
is.
said king.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what I
no,
thought.
kink
That's like-
shaming.
We need
Is
to
it
bring
kink
back
shaming?
shaming in various forms. I think that's what kept us in line. That's definitely what
No,
kept.
no, no. I'm not saying something makes you uncomfortable and like you're not comfortable with that is kink shaming. But if you state it like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that, so like you're wildin'. You're tripping for even asking me that. Sounds a little kink shaming.
Those some of the things
I-
I should have.
He took up anal. I don't know.
That's still
I
wild.
feel like that's not even the craziest thing you can ask for anymore. Now I feel like
No, it's not.
with
But
all the things
there's
that
still
these
people who
be
have.
doing,
It's a fine line
Yeah,
in
that-
saying. So
Yeah, man. But I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I like the same way because marriage is the physical representation of the gospel. If you think about it, I forgot the full explanation about it, but like when I heard it, they were talking about how if you think that the reason why fornication in itself is such a bad thing, it's because it goes against your commitment to the gospel. And marriage itself is our physical representation of the gospel. So of course, if we decide I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life, you know what I'm saying, and then that's a part of keeping a marriage alive in the first place. Like you kind of have to do it in order to be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? Because we were
multiply.
given that command. You know what I'm saying? Be fruitful and multiply. So take up one wife and be like, yeah, let's do this. How's you gonna make kids? So of course,
yeah. What
well, I mean, if you don't want kids, that's your business.
what if you also don't want sex?
You weird.
People
Really?
are asexual.
Yes.
People are.
Cause think about it, bro. That's like
Sexual beings.
that's
we're
a
sexual
part
beings,
of.
sure.
We
but
have
that's like
genitals.
that's like saying you can't be dissociated.
We have
from a part of
hormones.
yourself.
huh?
That's like saying you as a person, like your individual, like even just the way your brain works, cannot be disassociated from a part of who you are physically, which is just not true. I don't think on a spiritual or mental, like scientific level. So to say because we're sexual beings, if you don't like sex, that means like you're broken.
No, and people.
Well,
go through
yeah,
this.
no,
People
it could
may
be,
have been
it can
traumatized
definitely
and
be
they just
ruined.
don't
Yeah,
wanna
it could be
mess with
ruined
you know,
for
like-
you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could like assault you, and then like you're like, I don't ever want to do that again, which is very understandable because like once again, we are people, and it's like it's a lot more. I think it has a lot more to do with the fact that we are hardwired to, especially men, like we're hardwired to want to. And if you think about it, remember the fact that
Just look at dogs.
the fact that we
You
have
just equate yourself to a dog.
No, I'm saying male dogs. What are they doing? They're always humping something.
Women dogs hump a lot too, actually.
which is strange.
Yeah.
Animals
Yes.
be horny, boy. They do.
If you think about it, like once we figured out once we ate of the fruit and knew what good and evil was, from that
Stupid.
instance,
Girl.
you know what I'm saying? It's like if you don't keep your flesh in check, it's gonna drive you to those things. You feel me? If you know what I'm saying? Especially if you give yourself an appetite for it. Like if you were a little horny little teenager, you know what I'm saying? And you lost your virginity at 13, 14, like some of my friends, you have then given yourself an appetite for it. So now that's what you pursue. Like literally what you
if it's
pursue.
like Brussels sprouts and the first time you have it, you're like, I don't want to have that ever again. It's disgusting.
Something else got to come along, and hopefully you'll be like, hey,
Cocaine.
I really, really like this person.
Next
And I'm
this one right here.
oh my
wait.
God, this man
Battery
said.
Is it about to die?
All right, now
Okay.
it's very popularized, specifically, when it comes to women, but also men have it as well. Height desires for your partner. Gotta be this tall, gotta be this short, gotta be this, that, whatever the case may be when it comes to height. Is that merely your preference, or does that get into the realm of body shaming?
Well, I think some
It
girls
depends.
take it too far. Me personally, I don't have a preference. I've dated tall people, shorter than me, taller than me, whatever. Like, I don't really care. As long as I'm attracted to you, it's not really a factor. But there are, like, a lot of women who, like, if you aren't at least 6 foot, they will not even look your way at all.
Their brain can't even compute you
Yeah.
as someone to
And
figure out if
I
they
don't know
are
if
attracted
I would
to
say
you.
it's body shaming, but it could be body shaming.
I mean, it's
some
your
of
body.
They becoming
Very much
hard.
so.
They be like, if
I
you're
feel
not
like,
tall,
and
da,
it's
da, da.
like, my issue is, all right, I can understand like weight and body shape and stuff like that, things you can control. You know what I'm saying? But like when you're talking about somebody, this is literally my genetics. There was no other code in me for any other height. You
Yeah.
feel me? This is where when puberty hit, they was like, yo, you growing to here, and we stop it. That's it. So like
Yeah.
I understand some of the reasons why, but me personally, I like women that are taller than me. And it might be because of that, like because of the fact that like women don't usually like short men, and it's like I feel like accomplished sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
But mainly I've always just wanted my children to be taller than me, so they didn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like especially my sons, because I felt like if
My
let's say you
son
get your
gonna
height
be
from
rich,
your mom, so like usually if you have a
not
shorter
exist.
mother or a taller mother, then you'll be tall.
Yeah.
But me really it's because I like legs, and long legs are lit.
Legs
so,
is lit.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think the whole height requirement is just stupid.
I think, as I was thinking about this, I was like, I definitely think it's very much towards a case-by-case thing, because I don't even think all, like, just intrinsic, like, a preference one way or another when it comes to weight is necessarily always body shaming. A lot of times it subconsciously is about what society has ingrained, and there's a level of body shaming to it. And a lot of times the way people take it, speak about it, manifest, and all that definitely takes it into body shaming. But I don't think it's like 100%, like every person with a preference for their partner body wise. Like, I know for me, I oftentimes really just be like, a lot of times people want someone akin to them. And if you're super fit, like sometimes like it's just a difference in understanding of life if you're with someone who isn't as fit. Bump whether they're fat or not, just if they're not fit.
Right.
You know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's 100% body shaming, but I do think it's hard for me, kind of speaking to your point, to have the level of understanding that I have about body shaming when it comes to weight, and not see and weight preferences and the way people, execute and communicate that, and not see how that can't be applicable to your height, especially because whereas there's a lot of things about weight that make it either aren't out in your direct control or make it harder to control depending on your genetics, lifestyle, economic placement, culture, all of these different things. At the end of the day, there's literally nothing I can do that is natural and real to change my height.
Right.
There are things one can do, healthy or not, to change their weight. Like, I don't even like. There's like surgeries of people who like get their knees done to be like lengthened, and they don't even really get much height from it.
Like
you get
half an inch.
yeah,
like
like a quarter of an
anything.
inch. Like you don't. So there's like even if you take it cosmetically on a table, like there are way more ways to adjust and modify weight than there are for height. So I think it's hard for me to not be like, when people are going as hard as they are, and not be like that. There's body shaming at the root of that. I just think.
Yeah, because literally you can't do
has to
anything
be
about how
low-key.
tall you are. Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
But you know, it's mainly when they're talking about height, they're mainly talking about men.
Oh, I know.
Because there's no height requirements for dykes. Like
Oh,
I see
Dad.
That's
plenty
not
of
the right word.
for
Studs?
studs.
Studs.
I thought it was the opposite.
No.
I thought
Dykes
it
is
was the
mean
opposite.
one.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
Some studs, own the word dyke, but that's for them in their community, so you still can't call them that.
True. Too much. My head hurt now. But like, I done seen plenty of studs that were shorter than me with women who were taller than me, and I'm just like, they don't care when it comes to them, and that's okay.
Actually, that's so true. I rarely see a stud with a girl shorter than her. Rarely, like seldom.
Because women don't
So
have
it's
a height.
literally
The only
just
one
about
is
who
men.
men. It's
The
not
only
even about your
one-
part.
Who I saw was Mimi Foss' current girlfriend.
Who's a professional athlete, so.
What
And they're not together anymore.
Yeah,
And
they
you know the
broke up.
craziest
Oh,
part
she's
is-
so beautiful.
Yeah.
The craziest
Yeah,
part
they
is
were
I didn't even know that.
couples.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. I just
That
saw
she was in
her.
the
She was
WNBA?
in Ices, and I had brought her food, and she was such a nice. She was so nice.
so
You know
fine.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
She's a
And-
great person. She
And
drippy too.
and I'm not gonna lie to you. When I looked at her, I was like, "Yo, if you was girly,
She is beautiful.
I
She's
would.
very beautiful.
Yeah,
Bro.
she is so
She's
pretty.
very beautiful.
I would.
That
I'm
is-
She is
sorry."
so pretty.
And even I'm gonna be honest. Like there are a lot of studs who still retain their womanly features. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
even though because some of them look like dudes. Some of them like even if they haven't taken any hormones, like it's just I don't know what it is, but it's like they exude that. You know what I'm saying? That
That
vibe from
One of
them.
my
Yeah.
homies
And
said
it's not-
studs that look like niggas just had dudable faces as girl.
Yes.
Like dude.
Yeah.
Double face. He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we didn't notice you looked like a nigga till you started being
Being
one.
a- yeah.
Right.
She actually looks like a nigga.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's like, yo, that'd be the crazy
Yeah.
part.
But
And
yeah,
it's
that
like,
is a
but they
good
don't care
point.
about men's pain. They make fun of us all the time for a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just we got to deal with it.
Sorry.
Be tough out
The
here.
phrase I hate the phrase "as a man" because it's always followed by something
Nothing poignant
horrible.
ever been said after
Right.
as a man, comma.
And it's
Ever.
like men don't even be like, as a woman, why you like? We don't do that. It's just it's always just why would you? You know what I'm saying? Like why would you allow him to do that to you? Like you kind of. Come on, like today I had how like when you're scrolling on TikTok a random live will pop up and
Yeah.
like I've gotten like I have a habit now like I click them just to see what's going on and then I'll usually click off of them. This one girl was explaining a story about a guy that she was messing with, and I came in like on the tail end of it, and she was like, she was at her crib. She said, so I heard something at my window, and I'm just like, I know I'm not tripping because my room is on the second floor. Apparently, some dude that did her dirty. I don't know how he did her dirty, but I heard later that she said, like, you did me dirty. He was throwing rocks at her window. She opened the window. He's huffing, puffing, scared, breathing hard. He was like, yo, I was running from the cops. I dropped my stuff. Can you go get it for me? And she was like, all right, come inside. She brings him in her crib. She said it's like 2 a.m, and she said she walked almost 5-6 miles. She said it took her 40 minutes to get there and back. So it took her a while to
go find his stuff where it was, grab it, and she brought it back, and
No,
he
I would
was
never
like,
in my life.
and she was like, I was so stupid because you did me dirty, and da 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 da, and then I did all this, and she said when she brought it back, he started busting out crying because she was like, I guess he like realized what he had, and I'm just like, I'm gonna keep it real. He might be feeling that in that moment, but like if I like 2020 in hindsight, I'll be like, dang, she was stupid,
Bro,
Yes.
I literally would
Yes.
have the moment of crying
Yes.
like, man, it's a good woman. Good
She
thing
does.
she's dumb enough for me to get her back.
and
Good
guess
thing
what
she
happened,
dumb enough to
bro?
get her back.
10
'Cause
seconds
boy,
later,
you is slow.
bro. 10 seconds later, she was like, and we got back together, and I was like, nah, I gotta leave because what is wrong with you?
You walked 5
Baby.
miles at
Baby
2
girl.
a.m. to go pick up a nigga's bag. I would never. Get
You-
away from my house. Why are you throwing rocks in my window?
You are too.
Why are you throwing rocks in my window? I'm calling the cops to come get you right now.
You snitching?
No.
Because why are you
Too
at my
pretty
window?
for this.
Why are you at my window? No.
She was beautiful
Yeah,
too. She's
that
like,
was
and I'm,
crazy.
I'm.
Women, you gotta stop
She
doing
said she
dumb
was like
stuff for these
4'8" at the
people.
time, so somebody could have easily snatched her up, no matter where she was in the
Why?
world.
Don't
Like,
make decisions
Why
like
are
that.
you out? Why
Please
would
don't.
you do that? Why did you walk?
She don't
Why
got-
are you
She don't got a
walking?
car?
Oh my god.
nah, this was she was younger, and she
Oh.
looked like she was at least 18 to 17.
Oh, so she was just young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With that
no.
being said,
Thank God she
yeah. Thank God she made it back.
our quick final
He's a horrible
question
person
before
for
we
even asking her that.
He's crazy. Our quick final question before we go, or I had a name for it and I forgot what this segment is called. Nevertheless, your life is being made into a biopic. Who plays you?
Who would play me?
Oh, I stumped y'all.
Isaiah Rashad.
Isaiah Rashad.
I love
We're the same
Isaiah
height.
Rashad so
We're the same
much.
height, and we
An
actually
actor to play you in a movie.
yeah,
I
him
love that
or
man.
whoever played Easy E. Because people
Oh,
used to
what's
say I
his
look
name?
like
Jason
that actor.
Mitchell. Yeah, you can't do him no more, brother.
Jason Mitchell dead?
No, he's still alive, but he did a lot of messed up things on the Shy, which is why he got kicked off of it. So like
he
he's kind of
do?
blackballed.
What
Oh, he was sexually harassing his co-stars, making them uncomfortable, all different types of
Dang,
stuff like that.
Jay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was wild because like he was one of the best like things about the show apparently. But
I
Lena
know.
said nope, back out.
I know how.
Dang, man.
Yeah, he ain't really been.
Mabath Raw. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm
Movie
pretty
about
sure
her?
I do. As long if I
What's
see
she
it.
in?
That's exactly who. She was in no, what was it? Concussion. She was in Concussion with Will
Will?
Smith.
Was she his wife?
No, was she his wife in that movie? I think so. Let me just pull up a
Yeah,
picture.
just Google her.
If
My
she was
phone's
the, if
dead.
she was the
I'm
the
sure I know
curly
who she
haired
is.
lady that
Yeah.
was in the movie the most of the time, I think she was.
Do you know who? Christian?
Why are you? Did I say her now? Yeah, this girl.
Oh, that's Ravona.
Yeah, that's who I would pick. I love her so much.
Oh. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even remember she was in Concussion. You haven't seen Loki yet.
Yes, I have.
You have?
Oh yeah, she
So,
was
yeah,
in
yeah.
Loki. Yeah. I should have said that.
You
I
haven't seen
forgot
all of
about
them.
that.
I have seen all of them.
Oh,
But
how
yeah,
you like
What
it?
do
I
you
would pick
think?
her.
Of Loki. It was amazing. I think, like, it was amazing, phenomenal show. But I think seeing it after it was done and the amount of hype it had made it was just a tweensy bit too much. Simply because people really treated it like it was head and shoulders and knees above WandaVision, and I think it's better than WandaVision, but not by a great margin.
Facts.
Yeah. True.
I
True.
do.
It was really
like,
good
I,
though.
Well,
I loved it.
yeah, so you didn't get to experience the suspense of watching every episode.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
yeah, which was that was the
That's
crazy part
why.
about it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's
For
what
us.
added, but
Yeah.
just for me, that's why I said watching it once it was done, it was just like it was just a little bit too much, but it was phenomenal
But the
show.
suspense was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Because
I'm gonna
bro,
go with,
after they was on stranded on it, after they made it all the way to the ship, that episode, and it exploded in their face, and she just walks off, and you're
I'm
like,
so glad Jonathan Majors.
they
is
about to
in
die.
season
Like
one
you,
now.
like yo, they about to die for real. Like what's going on?
Loki was great.
Yeah, nah, Loki was
Christian, your answer?
I'm gonna go with Damson.
Damson Idris.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good selection,
Yeah, I
good
can see
selection.
that. That's a good pick.
facts. But he's
For me,
like
I
5'10".
have in my mind
Not historically accurate, but it's cool.
most of them aren't in
You
that
right.
regard, anyways. Leonardo Dicaprio is prettier than every person he's ever played, ever. And he's played 6 real life people.
No, that's facts. Including Stillwater? Is that the name of the movie that just came out? I'm thinking of Matt Damon.
Yeah, you are.
I hate it when I do that. I do that often. Bro, I do that so
one of those
often.
is a lot better than the other. Love them both, but one of those is a lot better than the other.
Yeah, no, facts.
So
Shout out the Bourne series, though.
Yes.
Facts.
I have a hard time, right?
Murder Mook.
They gonna have
kidding.
They're gonna have to get their body right. They're gonna have to, like, you know, I'm sorry, but y'all gonna have to change your shape if you really want to master it, right? You feel me? But the older me, I want played by Michael K. Williams, and like adult me, Jonathan Majors.
Yes. I love Jonathan Majors so.
Jonathan Majors is my favorite actor right now.
If I ever get to lay eyes on him in person.
Okay, maybe we should
will.
just tone that a little bit down.
I'm not gonna tone it down because I love him so
Pass
much.
out?
This is what I was talking
Oh my
about.
God, I love
This
him.
is what I was talking about 2 episodes ago.
Jonathan Majors so
And I knew it was
much.
coming, so I'm just like, and he's literally my favorite actor right now. Like him.
It wasn't
He's
until he said
amazing.
Conqueror that I realized he was Kane the Conqueror.
Yeah, he's
Oh, well, I knew he was Kane the
think that's-
Conqueror because
But I just loved
they
him
said he was
from
gonna be Kane the
Lovecraft
Conqueror
Country.
like a year
I
ago.
was obsessed
Yeah,
after that.
Lovecraft Country is my favorite thing
You seen
to
the
touch
Five
TV in
Bloods?
a long
He was
time.
in
Yeah,
he was in
yeah.
White
Him
Boy
in the
Rick.
Five Bloods, him in Hostiles, him in The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Like, he
I
doesn't
haven't seen
miss.
that yet.
He's phenomenal. Last Black Man in San Francisco. It's a character so
I've
different
heard
than
it's
anything
so
else.
good, yeah.
But he's, oh my God, he's
Have you
he's my
seen White
favorite
Boy
actor
Rick?
right now. Huh?
Have you seen White Boy Rick?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I know he's in that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
I
it.
haven't seen White Boy
He
Rick
plays a gangster named Eddie Curry. I don't know who he was to Detroit, like historically, but
He
apparently
played on the New York Knicks. I'm joking. There is an Eddie Curry. who played for the
Yeah,
Not the
I
same
know
person.
that Eddie. But yeah, he was definitely
good picks.
out
Michael
there
K.
pushing weight, and
Williams.
YG was White Boy was in it, and he did a good job. But it's like you could like I could.
in White Boy Rick?
Yes, he was Boo's older brother.
I don't remember.
Why Jesus?
We
It's-
saw it, but I don't remember.
Facts. I saw it the other night, and I was just like, this movie really did mess me up because it was crazy. But the crazier part is like
They did him
being
dirty.
in Detroit. Like, I don't know what a Michigan accent sounds like, but I know it's nothing like YG. YG just sounds like he's from Compton, and it's like there's no taking it out.
Very, very California.
With that being said, you already know who it is, what it is, how we do. It's the YSO Podcast, man. It's been another episode for you. We went and showed and proved we can be basic too, even though we still had to do it the YSO way. As you saw, we can't play by y'all rules. I'm sorry. We're here to disrupt, disorder, and destroy. With that being said, you know who you can find me on Instagram at thevillain.5390. You can find me on Twitter at RIP Lyons. You can find me on TikTok. I don't really make TikToks, but I just promoted one of my songs on there, so I guess I should put it in. And it's at The Goon of June. Don't ask why all my things are different, just cuz.
That's hard.
I have a new single out that just dropped on Wednesday called The Beldum, featuring my brother Ty Smooth, produced by Christopher Knox. It's one of them summer joints for the ladies, so go throw that on. Not around your mother, your auntie, or your grandmother, but go throw that on, and you know what I mean. Run up the streams and the numbers, yeah.
If you want to know where to follow me, go watch another episode.
It's at the end.
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashton Gates with 2 N's. Wait, no, 2 S's.
I was about
2
to say, I'm
S's.
pretty sure
It's
it's
2
two
S's.
S's.
You're right. It's 2 S's. It's 2 S's.
You can follow me on Instagram. I have 2 pages. My personal page is _skip to my shoe. My producer page is prod by ck.tve. So prod, which is produced without user. So yeah, you can follow
Thank
me
you.
on Twitter at _skip to my shoe as well.
And you know where you can find the podcast at Instagram, on Instagram at YSO Podcast, on Twitter at YSO_podcast. If you're listening to this wherever you auditorily stream, then stay subscribed there. But also go over to the YouTube, and if you're watching the video on YouTube, then you should already do this. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all, so every time we drop heat, you're in tune. With that being said, a few announcements to make major moves. Number 1, here at the residence that we record at, at the Thomas Studio, one of the Helders, and what is Helder? What? The patriarch of this here domain's birthday is tomorrow, so happy birthday to Sean Thomas. We love and thank you
Happy
for letting us,
birthday.
Sirski.
use the cribbo. And with that being said, the second announcement is something major. The Youth Speak Out podcast crew has the distinct honor of being not only honorees, but also hosts of the third annual, the second annual Youth Spotlight Awards being held by.
I think you can see it.
Being held by. Is it both your companies or just one?
Wow, bro.
So
Y'all can see
by Healing Pain Through the Arts. Please ignore them. Just listen to me as I give you the information. Healing Pain Through the Arts, September 25th. The Youth Spotlight Awards is happening. The theme is honoring and highlighting youth that have been persistent through the pandemic. You know that's what we've been, because we was giving you nothing but heat all last year, despite the fact that we was locked down. We live in Georgia, so we was locked down for like 1.5 days. 2 weeks. And then we was back outside. But nevertheless... So, yes, we are definitely honored and grateful, and we're going to be in attendance because not only are we going to be honored, but we're your hosts. So, come in, buy the tickets, find the Eventbrite at Healing Pain Through the Arts' pages on wherever. Just Google. Do your Googles, find it on Facebook and this, that, and the third and all that, and buy your tickets. Get your early bird ticket Google now because the price going to go up. What Fat Joe say? Yesterday's price. It's not today's price. You understand me? So get in there. We're going to be honoring a lot of great young youth who have been doing wonderful things in their lives, and community and entertainment and such. And yeah, you get to see us, but live. Oh my God. What a wonderful opportunity. With that being said, I only got one thing to say after that. What is the worst fast food establishment you go to, and why is it Popeyes? We're going.